Hey, good morning, champions. How are you guys doing? We are almost at the end of January. First month is done. 1/12 of the year is almost completed. We still got 2 more days to really finish strong. So, hopefully for you, the beginning of 2019 was like no other January ever. I know for me it has been absolutely incredible. So super fired up, super grateful, super pumped, for what this year is going to be like. It's going to be absolutely incredible. If you're watching a replay of this, please do me a massive favor and stick hashtag replay into the comments. And if you are watching for the first time, if you've never watched one of my videos, then do say new in the comments because I'd like to say hi to you. I'd like to connect with you, etc. But today I wanted to talk about transparency. Why is transparency important in your network marketing business? And there's few reasons why it's so important to be transparent. And probably the worst saying of all time is fake it until you make it. Right? That's probably the worst saying of all time because you can't fake it till you make it. It's just, there's no integrity in that. There's no good feelings in that. It's just wrong, So, so first of all, don't be afraid to be vulnerable. Don't be afraid to show other people your faults, right? And actually, more importantly than to show your faults is to admit your faults, right? What I mean by that is that the reality is that most people know your flaws. People who are spending time around you, people who are in your business, they know your flaws. They know the things you do wrong. They know the things that you that you have, right? You may think that, oh, I'm so good at hiding those things and nobody knows about it. Trust me, your team members, your leadership, people who spend a lot of time with you, they know your flaws, whatever they are, so I have some flaws and I know my team knows about those flaws, right? So when you admit to your flaws, when you admit to your faults, it's not to show, hey, I have these flaws. They know it already. It's the fact that you admit that makes the big difference. That's the transparency. When you admit to your team members that, hey, look, I've struggled with these things too. Hey, I had challenges, in this area too, etc. What this does, it creates a relatability. So when you're transparent, you become more relatable so that people go, oh, wow, that leader is also like me. They also have the same challenges as I do. They also have some struggles that I do. Now, it doesn't mean that every time you speak to your team and every time you go on live, you should always be like, I'm struggling with this, right? Nobody is interested in listening to that. But you know what I'm saying? Once in a while, to bring out and to share things that you've struggled with, and especially when it's a one-to-one conversation, when you're speaking to somebody, maybe your team member, maybe one of your leaders, and they struggle with something or they had a challenge, you sharing that, hey, look, I've used to have a challenge in that area too, and this is how I overcome it. It can be super, super powerful. Hey, Anna. Hey, Layla. Hey, Georgi. Hey, Renata. Hey, Michelle. Hey, Reina. Hope you guys are awesome. So people need to see that it wasn't easy because, again, sometimes if you become a leader in your business, if you become successful, people will look at you and go, it must have been easy for him. It must have been really smooth for her. It must have been just like a walk in the park for them, right? Because it's easier for people to justify that, probably it was easier for her. Most people don't want to admit that probably that person worked harder than me. Probably that person have overcome a lot more challenges than me. That's where they're successful. Instead, people will think that it was easy for you, etc. So you sharing it with them that, hey, look, I've struggled with this for a while. Hey, it took me some time to recruit some people. Hey, I've had some challenges, where people, did this or that, etc. Right? And it's absolutely fine. When you're transparent, people will relate to you and people will appreciate you and they'll see that, oh, wow, they're a normal human being too, so don't be afraid to admit that sometimes, things going up as well as going down, sometimes, especially, in home-based business. And I think that's one of the reasons why network marketing may have had bad reputation in the past, because people would exaggerate their incomes. They would go, I'm making, hundreds of thousands or whatever, and maybe they made it once, but never made it again. But they will keep saying, yeah, I'm making that amount of money every single, or whatever, right? So it's okay to admit that, hey, look, like our business now, we are in a rebuilding mode, right? We're building new teams, but as well, we're rebuilding some of the teams that, you know, some leaders left to other businesses, which means we're now working to rebuild those teams, right? And at the same time, we're always building new teams. We're always looking for new leaders, etc., right? But it's okay to admit that sometimes your business goes up and sometimes it dips too, right? It's life. What other business is not like that? You know, look at multi-million companies like, you know, whatever, Tesco's, you know, and things like that, and who report losses some years, and some years they report that they made profits, you know. So it's life. It's inevitable, but don't try to be perfect. Don't try to be like a media representative for a huge company where everything is fine here, everybody's friendly here, everything is awesome here, right? Like it's perfect. It isn't. Like, and people know it's not perfect. So when you share your real life, when you share your struggles, when you share that, hey, you know, I've had challenges there too, people will relate to you more, and that will cause more duplication in your business. Because again, if people hear your real story, you know, the things that you had to overcome to become successful, then they will be able to duplicate the business better too, because they'll go, wow, she overcome those challenges, so I have no excuse to overcome my challenges and become successful too, right? So that's why transparency is so important, and it really connects with integrity too, because then you feel good that you're not faking it until you're making it. You're not trying to pretend somebody you're not. You're not trying to exaggerate your income or your business or whatever. You're showing it as it is. Right? So this way you feel good that, hey, I'm not lying to anybody. Hey, I'm not cheating anybody. I'm not tricking anybody. I'm saying how it is. And it makes you feel much better too, you know, because I know some people come from that mentality of, you know, oh, you need to fake it until you make it. And you know, they're trying to show that they're doing awesome, etc. And deep down inside, they're feeling like crap, you know. So you don't want to be in that place. You want to be in a good position, you know, in a good place mentally and emotionally, where, you know, what you're doing, you know, you're helping people, and you know, you're not lying, you're not tricking anybody, etc. You just really focused on your vision. Now, you know, your vision might be huge. You might not be there yet, but your goals might be huge. And instead of trying to say, hey, you know, I'm making all of these millions now and you're not, instead say, hey, my vision is to get to that. My goal is to get to that. I want to help so many people to get to that. That's okay, because that's your goal, that's your vision, that's your plan. But if you're not there right now, you don't need to say you're there right now. You know what I mean? So it's absolutely fine. So that's my message for today. Transparency, super important in your business. It will attract people. It will build more trust. You're not going to lose trust because of that if you are being vulnerable and if you're being transparent with people. I hope you got some value. If you did, feel free to share this video with other people. And if you're already in home-based business and you'd like to get my 26 different strategies, how to get more customers and make more sales, then head over to titaniumsuccess.co.uk/sales. Have an awesome day, guys, and I'll see you at the top. Bye for now.